Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to the last session for today. We have a panel discussion about how to creating a future forward digital business. And of course, we have speakers and panelists and a moderator for the session for right now. And we have Pak Funky Christian, a regional chairman of Aptignas Jakarta, Indonesia. So, yeah, I will introduce you Pak Funky Christian. Okay, halo Pak Funky.
Halo Bu Melisa.
Hai Pak, apa kabar hari ini?
Good.
Very good.
Baik.
Okay, thank you so much Pak Funky dan bapak-bapak lainnya for joining us for today's panel discussion session. Dan apologize karena kita menunggu agak lama sesi yang sebelumnya berakhir. Tapi kami yakin ini akan jadi sesi yang luar biasa. So it would be an interesting panel discussion. So yeah, the stage is yours, Pak Funky. Silahkan.
Thank you Bu Melisa. So, good afternoon ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining our panel discussion. We will be talking about creating a future forward digital business. Let me introduce myself. I am Fanti Christian as a regional chairman of Aptignas, Indonesia ICT Business Association. The association consists of many IT players in Indonesia, start from principal, system integrator, distributor, reseller, computer retailer, and also some consultant, related to IT business. So today we have upcoming 60 minutes. We will talk about the creating a future forward digital business. And already joined in our panel discussion, Pak Wilbertus Darmadi from Toyota Astra Motor.
Hi.
Pak Anggun, good day, Pak.
Yo. Hi, everyone.
Pak Anggun Himawan, the customer experience head from Excel Axiata. And the
Hello.
last, Pak Hangki Morasa Sumakul, Pak Hangki from EduClass. Okay, before we start the panels, I think we need to more detail about our panelists. We can start from Pak Darmadi to introduce yourself and the business. Go ahead, Pak.
Okay. Thank you, Pak Venki. So, hi, everyone. I'm from the Toyota Astra Motor. Now currently I'm the CIO of Toyota Astra. So, I have around 26 year experience in IT, and most of them actually in the automotive industry. So, as a CIO, you know that I'm supervise all the technology implementation in Toyota Astra and how actually we can took the benefit from the technology. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Pak Darmadi. The next, Pak Anggun. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Anggun Himawan. So I'm now head of the XL Touchpoint and Customer Journey. Yeah. So basically, XL has many segment like enterprise and then also home solution. For me, I'm responsible for the mass segment or the prepaid user, which is around 30 million user for now. So what I do is actually develop the engagement and also manage the touch point for all of XL user subscriber.
Thank you, Pak Anggun. Pak Hangki, go ahead.
Okay, Pak Faki, thank you to introduce me. My name is Hangki Morsius Makul. EduClass Global Indonesia, as EduClass is a financial digital learning and talent platform, which is to deliver talent and enterprise growth with class for inclusive digital economic transformation. So right now we connect higher education students, working adults, enterprises, employers, and post-secondary institutions for digital upskilling, digital career induction, and so digital workforce development. So class means we deliver competence learning as a service to bridge the digital skill gap with competence-based curriculum, work-based learning pedagogy, and blended work-to-learn journey. So class course have received accreditation from education regulatory bodies and over 100 international university. And the last about us, EduClass also we have a network of more than 100 plus campus has served over than 50,000 plus learners and more than 2,000 enterprises across Asia with class. So that's a brief from us, Pak Frankie.
Yeah, thank you, Pak Hangki. So, gentlemen, I think we know that during the pandemics, the digital world is expanding and growing so fast. Yeah, and the impact of the new digital world for business changes the way we work with the technology that have changed changed so many things, changed the relationship, the communications. I think the companies must constantly adapt their products, their service, and the marketing strategy to stay relevant. I will ask you about your view on potential technology such as data analytics, the cloud, the security or cybersecurity, digital transformation for enterprise, the data centers, etc. What is the important? Okay, the first from Pak Darmadi. What do you think? How the Toyota Astra Motor adopt this kind of technologies, such as
Yeah, thank
yeah,
you,
data
thank
analytics
you.
and everything? Go ahead, Pak.
Yeah, you are right that actually the pandemic actually become a trigger, yeah, the key that enforce digitalization or digital transformations. Yeah, so all the enterprise actually being forced, yeah, to change, yeah, to change how their works, change how they are licensed with the customer, yeah, so everything, yeah. So maybe we in the other side, maybe we should thanks to the pandemic, the other side, yeah. But we know that actually the technology evolve very fast, yeah. Everybody now that in this era we cannot deny it, yeah, yeah. Where you living, yeah, new technology coming time to time, yeah. So as an enterprise, I think that as a CIO also that's my task, yeah, to seeing what kind of the technology that we can embrace to help our business, yeah. So in Toyota itself, like you mentioned, several of the technology, if we are talking about the cloud, then if we are talking in the cloud, of course, we must talk about the security, security in the cloud. If we are talking about the IoT, then what now? The meta era, yeah, AR, VR. So from the Toyota itself, yeah, we are seeing all the technology evolvement, then we decide what kind of the technology that we will implement, yeah. And I can say that all the technology that I mentioned above, actually we already implement it, yeah. So for example, the cloud, yeah, cloud technology, we already utilize cloud since 4 or 5 years ago, and yeah, not only one cloud provider, but we already utilize the multi-cloud, yeah, the big three, we already utilize it, yeah. For the cloud, from my perspective, actually that's a kind of the technology that are very useful for the enterprise. Yeah, I use the words undeniable. Yeah, the technology, kind of the technology that might be the enterprise cannot deny. Yeah, if you are not embrace it, if you are not going to the cloud, maybe the benefit for your business, for for your customer, maybe will become lower. Yeah, so from my opinion, cloud technology is undeniable for the enterprise, yeah. So the others, yeah, like I mentioned, uh, if we are talking about the cloud, of course we need to pay attention to the security, yeah. Everything now, everybody for me they are too hype, no, yeah, cloud
Mm.
and security. That's the two things and unspreadable, yeah. So
Yeah,
that's one thing actually. If we are talking cloud, we should talk about the
security.
security, yeah. So yeah, in TAM also in Toyota we are very strict, yeah, about the security. We apply the proper and of course all the security perimeter standard that we should apply. We try to put it in place, yeah. And yeah, the others technology, actually I can say that we already implement it, yeah, like chatbot, yeah, what else, yeah, many of the technology. So from TAM, as a summary, we are always seeing what actually the technology is coming, yeah, and we are trying to put it in our business, how we can leverage this technology, of course, for the sake of the business benefit, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you, Pak Frankie.
Thank you, Pak Darmadi. Okay, let's move to Pak Anggun. Pak Anggun, I believe the uh, Excel Axiata is also changing
Yeah.
due to the
Mm.
transformation. Yeah, how the
Yeah.
Excel Axiata becoming, the first as a telco operator and now changing to see the enterprise solutions, trying to adopt and helping transformation for your customer, Pak.
Okay. Yeah. So I think before we jump into the technology, first thing first is all this digitalization is actually about shifting the relationship between us, the company, with our customers. So we see that the key is in the relationship. So in telco case, yeah, we can define our relationship with the customer is it's complicated. So if you play Facebook, right, there is a choice of what is your relationship status, yeah. There is one status, it's complicated. So in our case, it is complicated, Pak. Why complicated? Because we know we have, let's say, 30 million of customer. Those customer use XL number, right?
Yeah.
But when we want to reach them, they only read from WhatsApp. They don't read SMS anymore. So we cannot reach them without bridging through WhatsApp, right? So if we want to, let's say, hello Anggun, apa kabar? You got this offer, blah, blah. We need to have WhatsApp to reach them. Second, if they want to buy packet, right? Let's say you want to buy data packet monthly, yeah. With all of this disruption of the digital, now they have many choices. They don't need to go to the kios pulsa or to us. They can go to Tokopedia, Gojek, whatever it is that give them the best benefit. So seems like they are our customer, but we have a hard time to reach them. We have a hard time to even to connect to them. That's I think the challenge for us now. So that's why since like 2 years ago we have set up our goal. Our mission is to win back our customer relationship. So how we do that is actually through the app. I think that's the only way we can win back the customer, because currently everything should be have an app for it, and also customer tend to engage more via app. Yeah, so there's no other else technology that we need, except that we need to build a very personalized best experience app for our customer. So that's what we do. I think that's our strategy in winning in this era of the digital.
Thank you. Thank you, Pak.
Yeah.
Okay, Pak Hangki,
Yes, Pak.
as you see these two big companies using the digital, yeah, transformation, yeah, to becoming in front of other companies, yeah. How the EduClass helping companies, especially the corporate leaders, to know to adapt the digital transformation, Pak?
Okay. Yeah, first, thank you, Pak Christian. So today's digital business environment, like we know, is fundamentally different from the business environment of the past. It is faster, yeah, it's more distributed and more collaborative. Difference that are forcing organization, yeah, to rethink how they develop leaders and improve their workforce capability. Now, leaders can play important role in helping their companies overcome these obstacles by focusing on new ways to learn and lead in the digital age. Yeah, we have our try and tested digital upskilling methodology. So that consists of three parts, namely digital fluency class, digital technology and practice roadmap, and also digital upskilling plan. And for a digital fluency class, it is designed to give each learner the basic understand on the breadth of knowledge every leader needs to understand to embark on the digital transformation journey. So after that, the leaders team, yeah, of course, together with our industry expert mentor, will come up with a digital technology and practice roadmap. So here the participant will establish the technology that need to be implemented, which are relevant based on the organization digital transformation state and goals. So the next step will be to create a digital upskilling plan, yeah, for the workforce, and by accessing the digital skills gaps and to establish the training and development needs.
Okay, thank you, Pak Hangki. So, in your opinion, yeah, what the technology is the as a main strategy to adapt the digital information, Pak?
Yes, yes. Uh, Hello.
Yes, Pak Hangki, go ahead. What technology as the main strategy to adapt the digital transformation, in your opinion?
Sorry, sorry. Unfortunately, there is no one size fits all in digital transformation space. Yeah, while there are many viable options for digital initiative, of course, an organization needs to determine the most effective, the most efficient and cost-effective strategy for their business. So, with that being said, EduClass have mapped out the most important digital skill that are required for today's hybrid workforce, and we have split them into two verticals. Yeah, the first we can say the vertical core skill that include digital fluency, digital collaboration, and agile management. And the second is vertical skills that consist of process automation, enterprise application, omni-commerce, data analysis, and emerging technology. Yeah, the above will not just be a foundation for any organization that is embarking on their digital transformation journey, but also most important a set of skills that will set you and your organization up for success and keep you ahead in the digital race. Yeah, we have a digital skill discovery. Yeah, the tools. Yeah, you'll be able to profile your workforce with eight clearly defined digital competence to match. We have mapping a three core competence that are broad based and establish the new baseline of skill necessary to function in digital economy. And the five others is vertical competence that are relative to the various roles supporting your organization operations. That's a thank you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Since Pak Anggun already come up with the customer experience, yeah, based on the Excel Asiata. So and how we want to know details, yeah, uh, how to get better customer relationship, how to improve the customer experience, yeah. Okay, start from Pak Darmadi. How Toyota Astra Motor use the data, yeah, to improve and manage the customer experience, Pak?
Yeah, I think like Pak Anggun mentioned, yeah, about the personalization. I think not only Toyota, yeah, all the enterprise, yeah, they're going to personalization, yeah, how they can know the customer better, then offering the customer fit with what they need. Yeah, so that's a kind of the personalization. So we can actually we collect all the data, we get all the data, we keep it, then we analyze all the data in of course, in order to create a better personalization for the customer. Yeah, in if we are talking vehicle, yeah, in Toyota, for example, we have so many type, yeah, model of the vehicle, and almost as all the segment we have vehicle type. Yeah, so for example, we try to uh, teach our salespersons, yeah, how they can offering the vehicle to the customer, yeah, based on what the customer needs. So if they can know the customer better, they can personalize the offering. Yeah, so it's become. I think the customer experience also become more joyful for them. Yeah, for the customer. So of course, the personalizations become all the enterprise objective. Yeah, but if you are talking about the customer, not only personalizations, yeah, we also try to analyze all the data to improve the customer experience. Yeah, if we are talking the customer experience, this is actually what a two-way communications. Yeah, not only one way. From us, for example, yeah, how we can deliver our message, the information to the customer. Meanwhile, at the other side, how the customer can reach us quickly, yeah, closely, no barrier, yeah. So there's
Yeah.
a kind of the two-way communications. We try to provide the smooth communication with the customer, two-way communication. We open many channel, yeah, yeah. Of course, in this current digital era, yeah, many communication channel, yeah, yeah, through WhatsApp, yeah, website, Instagram, yeah, the others, yeah, many. So we try to embrace that to build the channel for the customer. Yeah, so now our approach is we have a omni-channel approach. Yeah, to communicate with our customer. Of course, the objective is how we can increase the customer experience. Yeah, so I think like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Very interesting, Pak. How about let's dig more. How about the cloud technology? Is the cloud technology also helping you a lot in for supporting to have the have a better relationship, the better the customer experience?
Yeah, sure, sure. Of course, yeah. So, for example, we categorize what kind of apps that we have. Um, some of our apps that actually facing the customer we put in the cloud. Yeah. Why? Because
Mm.
one of the advantage of the clouds, of course, yeah. Beside the cost, yeah, I don't talk about the cost. Yeah. So the agility, yeah, the agility. So how quick actually you can for example, your infrastructure, your server, yeah, your capacity, yeah, how quick you can increase the capacity, and not only increase but also decrease it. Yeah.
Yeah.
In the case, for example, we have a M Toyota. Yeah, that's a kind of the mobile apps for our customer. Yeah, we cannot predict, yeah, how many customer that will come to visit our mobile apps. Yeah, M Toyota. How many customer that will download it. Yeah. Sometimes if we have event, yeah, a motor show event, yeah, sometimes the traffic become very high. Yeah, so it means we need to increase it suddenly, abruptly. Yeah. So actually the cloud can support it. If you put it on a premise, yeah, I think it is what maybe almost impossible, yeah, to have ad hoc quick increase of the capacity. Yeah. So I think that's one benefit of the cloud. So we apply it for our customer apps. That's one of the business case, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Good, good. Okay. Okay, attendees, please put your question into the Q&A. If you have any question to all the panelists, you can type the question now so later we can discuss it. Yeah. Okay. Back to Pak Anggun. Pak Anggun, this is your specialization, the customer experience. How the Excel Axiata use this data to improve and manage the customer experience? Please share more, Pak.
Yeah, okay. So yes, data is not critical, but it's the one thing that we need to have a better relationship. So we have 3 initiatives in using this data to make a better experience and also relationship. Yeah, first thing first is a closed loop feedback. So meaning that in the past, yeah, customer complaint is always coming in many layers lah. But now we actually doing a proactive research. How happy are you today? So we know the happiness index of our customer. Yeah, they might not, they probably not happy because macet, yeah, traffic, or they probably not happy because the internet is slow. Yeah, so there's so many probability, but at least we know uh, how our customer day is. Yeah, so all of those will create what we call a closed loop feedback mechanism. Wherever the customer have a bad day, we can, proactively give them a relevant experience. Let's say if you have a bad day, we don't send you message at all. Or if you have a good day, you just get your paycheck, then we probably give you offer, blah blah, things like that. That's the first thing, yeah, the closed loop feedback and the voice of customer capturing. Second is actually we use big data to know our customer better, because right now we have 2 channels to understand them. First channel is through their telco behavior. So we know exactly when they watch movie, when they access Netflix, when they go to Instagram, things like that. That's the telco behavior. When they run out of quota, where they go, where they are located, blah blah. Second is the behavior of the app. So with the app, currently our app has reached as many as almost 10 million users of XL. Yeah. 2 years ago, it's only 2 million users connected to the app. Now we have almost 10 million users. With all of those users, we can grab their behavior through app. How many times they open the app, when they last login, when they last purchase, blah, blah. So combining that into the big data, we can push them an accurate and a custom offer, yeah, offer that is sent at the right time to the right people. So that's why right now, if you see offer in my XL application, your offer might be different from the other person offer, because we know exactly what you need. Yeah, so that's why we come into the third initiative, which is simplification. So one of the big mandate for telco is actually to simplify our customer life, because modern life is already complicated. Don't add complication to their life. So telco used to be very complicated, because you see when you buy data, you see kuota malam, kuota ini, kuota itu, blah blah, and then also you see, I think there are 7 telco operator in Indonesia, yeah, 7 or more. Now we reduce, merge, and also I think the way we communicate, the way we provide the offer, we need to simplify. So that's the 3 things that we do in terms of the customer. First is voice of customer, capture them early and often, and then give closed loop feedback. Second is creating a very what we call it, yeah, very detailed segment and profile. Third is actually to simplify all of the journey, all of the experience of our customer.
Yeah. Agree,
And
Pak.
it's rely on big data, Pak.
Yeah.
There is no way we can do that without the big data. Yeah.
Agree, Pak. I think telco is one of the sector that mainly use big data, yeah,
Yeah,
at the
correct.
first time, yeah. And also that's one point, Pak, because I think the billing class in telco Indonesia is very complicated.
Yes. That's the legacy system, Pak. We cannot avoid, but I think we need to integrate more and more lah.
Okay. Okay, let's move to Pak Hangki. Pak Hangki, how the
Yes,
Educlass
Pak
see
Fandi.
the digital transformation, especially related to the using data for better decision, for customer service, for customer experience? Go ahead, Pak.
Okay, Pak Fangki. See, not only are 75% of customer, I think, is willing to pay, yeah, more to shop at a business with a great customer experience. Yeah, let's say 50% will leave permanently if the experience is good. Yeah, unfortunately, many retailers don't realize that the connection between the data and customer experience is vital. As a result, they limit the collection and use of the data, yeah, significantly. Only sampling, yeah, say about 7% of the customer, yeah, in the customer experience survey, and it's limited knowledge of customer needs. Let's say an attitude or the place and artificial cap. Let's say on the ability, yeah, to support customer through the customer journey. See, in line with that, this EduClass has defined the right tools, yeah, for a successful data-driven business, which is include there is some information like a business analytic, yeah. This is to use business intelligence tools to collect the data, collect, analyze, integrate, and present actionable data for greater business insight. And the others about data science is applying predictive analytic with machine learning to tackle big data for business prediction and insight. And the other thing is artificial intelligence. Yeah, this is leveraging on artificial intelligence tools. Yeah, example like chatbot. There is post-master engagement and personalized service delivery. So what this mean? Yeah, in for EduClass, yeah, there is we have four. Yeah, we can explain it about the uh, what using the data for customer experience. Let's say first, yeah, to increase strategic decision making. The most obvious application is decision making. Yeah, since the insights allow you to see your customer more clearly, you can use them to uncover critical pain points that are driving loyal customer away and discover new opportunity to delight leads and new shoppers. Yeah, for example, you might find better ways to market your products. Yeah, fulfill orders, order delivery on omni-channel experience. Let's say to make shopping make seamless. Yeah, and the second, yeah, it's about enhanced customer mapping. So a customer interact with your brand at various touch point through the customer journey. Uh, they might follow a path from your social media apps to your e-commerce store and finally connect with your customer support and then also while waiting for an order to arrive. Yeah, and I think and during the journey they also might to join your email address as subscriber, and then they get some information from like a chatbot for make it a quality or sizing of product. Yeah. Uh, and the third is it means to improve customer service, of course. Yeah, and then customer service is at the heart of your brand. Yeah, whether your customer are struggling to find the right product or having issue placing on order or want to know the status of delivery, they turn to your customer support team. Yeah, uh, keeping up with customer requests is challenging. And it's become even more difficult since customer want to complete answer in the real time. But luckily, customer data is useful here as well. Not only can it be used to create visual IVR experience that your shoppers can use to find answer on their own, but it can also be fit to machine learning algorithm and chatbot that can evolve their response to fit your customer needs. And the lastly, about the predict trends, yeah.
Hello, Bangki.
with this predictive, you can make a smarter decision about product sourcing and inventory management. Yeah. And yeah, that's you can also plan marketing campaigns and customer interaction that will support the expect demand. And doing so, you can increase customer satisfaction and customer loyalty. So by building a successful customer experience strategy can be done without the data. Yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't have to be by collecting customer feedback and extracting the relevant information from their shopping behavior. You can improve your decision making, predict trends, mapping customer touch point, make pricing adjustment in real time, and enhance customer service. I think there is from our point of view about the customer the data. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Pak Anggi. Okay, so gentlemen, the next thing I want to discuss is about how to improve the decision making and customer engagement by adoption its capabilities for the enterprise business. Pak Darmadi, in your experience, how to convince the management on importance of data? How they need to use the dashboard for the decision making? Do you think tough or not, Pak?
Yeah, sure. Quite tough, yeah, because it's depend on what what I can say. Uh, Maybe it's difficult to find the word. Yeah, all people. I cannot say.
Not millennial.
It's very difficult to find the words. Yeah. So first, of course, I think all the top management should the people that have open-minded. That's very important. Yeah, if uh, we are lucky that actually in the Toyota Astra, all the top management is open-minded and always want to learn, always want to hear, yeah, get a feedback, and also want to improve. Yeah, so including about if we are talking about the data. Yeah. So we are lucky once again because the top management, yeah, all the management in our company actually they are aware about the importance of the data. Yeah. We should we build a kind of what might be words culture, work cultures to speak by data. Yeah? So when you present something, yeah, in the meeting, yeah, you shouldn't come with the assumption. Yeah, you should come with the data. We are lucky also because you know that our principal is come from the Japan, and you know that actually they rely on the data. Yeah. So maybe in our uh, company is not difficult uh, to ask all the top management. Yeah. So they aware about this, the importance. So the challenge is actually after this, what next? Yeah, because not only the awareness, yeah, the support from the top management, but also how all the employee, yeah, implement it in their daily works, in daily tasks. Yeah, so we have not only the IT. Yeah, we collaborate with the SR team. Yeah, how we set up a kind of what we are call, we have a like a innovation innovation day, which we are conduct every year. So we encourage the employee here to create an innovation, and they can present up to the all the top management, showing how they are utilize the data. Yeah, for example. Yeah, so I think with this kind of effort, we can expect the employee, actually the business user, they have a motivation, yeah, to explore more, yeah, how to utilize the data. And also from the IT side, if you are talking about the data driven organization, yeah, we try to encourage all the business user to able to do what I call as a self service analytic. As a service analytic, I mean all the business users they should able to get the data, yeah, with the simple tools that we are provide. Yeah, they can do analytic by themselves. Not every time come to the IT. Yeah? So because if every time they come to IT become the bottleneck. Yeah, we don't have enough people. Yeah? So we leverage our business user with the tools, the skill. Yeah, we train them. We provide the data catalog, data warehouse where they are easily get the data. Yeah, then after that they able to do analysis by themselves. Yeah, get the data, do a slicing and dicing, create a presentation, visualization. So I think that's the approach in Toyota Astra. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Pak Darmadi. Pak Anggun, related to the data for decision making and customer engagement, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a different strategy since you have the now not only the retail customer, but
Yeah.
also you have also the B2B market now? Do
Yeah.
you apply the different strategy or not?
Yes. So basically for XL, I think because we are a telco company, from the day one, we already rely on data. So whatever decision, of course, the investment in telco is huge, right? So all the investment must be based on the data. But I think now we expand the use of the data into the marketing. Yeah. So our marketing activity now is really about the perception, right? Because when we offer something, when we offer new product, there is a price, there is a benefit, there is a like the visual things like that. There is so many perception involved in that. If we don't have data, then we cannot test which product will be success. So that's why we also rely on the data. Currently, we have that so many subscriber, so we can test all of the product, all of the offer directly into the subscriber and see their preference, see their acceptance. If the acceptance is good, then we can expand, then we can extend the product. If not, then we can kill the product as soon as possible. So I think uh, for other thing is actually right now we are actually learning from the business and the enterprise, because uh, before this our approach is always one to many, right? So we are like seeing our customer like a crowd. Yeah, we never knew one on one, we never knew who they are personally. But now with this data, it allow us to operate like the business to business company, because now we know who you are and how you behave, and also we can we can communicate and interact with them in person. So that's I think the, as you mentioned before, does it really different, the approach? I think it's not different. Even we want to have as detailed and as personalized interaction as what our business and our enterprise segment does. So we are moving from consumer business into more of the segmented business. Yeah. So because nowadays the war is not in having as many as customer as possible. I think that's in the past. Yeah. Now our work is to have as many as happy customer as possible. So that's why I think for the data we have so many scenario, but in the end the goal is to have very good TNPS. So that's why one of our KPI for the next 2 or 3 years is actually not just the performance, but also the TNPS, or a happy customer.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Pak Hangki, tell us more on the EduQuest, how you use the omni commerce in digital information for your customers.
Okay, thank you, Pak Franky. Yeah. So consumers are turning first to the internet to pre-shop and research product using device including phones and tablets, right? The availability of information across a wide range of retail category is significantly influencing cross-channel shopping behavior. So to address these new trends in consumer behavior, traditional e-commerce is morphing into experience-driven omni-commerce. You see, omni-commerce, the ability is to seamlessly interact with your customer across all shopping channels, merge digital and physical in-store retail into an integrated shopping experience. So whether the customer is researching, comparing, checking inventory availability, or buying, retailers can ensure the customer journey is productive. Yeah, with our class at work for omni-commerce, we identify the crucial step that need to be taken to ensure that through this model, our clients are able to create rich, personalized customer experience that drive customer loyalty and growth. It's like we support our client by supporting the skill related to digital sales solution, digital marketing, and content marketing. Yeah, also. So and how is the class will evaluate yeah, and then to or related the digital program. We we can achieve our client is by creating compelling online customer experience and focus on pre-shopping and buying. And also we can map customer journey across channel to understand what your customer are actually doing. And the others provide in intimate omnichannel brand experience. So through this evaluation, our expert will deliver what you need, yeah, to start your digital and omnichannel journey, including strategic recommendation for driving growth and effectively implementing change within current environments. Then the others is to development of an omni-channel digital strategy, plus guidance for building a business transformation plan and technology roadmap. And the lastly is to metrics for tracking improvement and return on investment. Yeah, I think that's
Yeah, thank you, Bangki. So, the last discussion will be talking about the future forward digital business. Pak Darmadi, what is the challenge to be a data-driven company in big companies such as TAM?
Yeah, like I mentioned, previously, I think it's first the people, the work culture. Everything I think in every company might be the same, the people. So if you have depend on the composition of the employee, maybe for the young generation is maybe is more easy for us to ask them and not only easy but also their life now they already embrace with the technology, so very easy. But if your employee actually consists of maybe many senior people
Yeah,
until this time, so I think there should be a special effort, to how to open the mind of the senior people, so that's the challenge. Yeah. So we try to once again collaborate with our HR. Yeah. Second, there are two things. First, of course, for the treatment with the young people, the young employee is different with the senior one. Yeah. So for the young employee, we create a standard. Yeah. A standard. I mean, for the newcomer, the new employee, our HR already apply a standard that they should able at least, working well for example, Microsoft Excel, and also sorry, I mentioned about the brand here, so the other tools. So we have standard tools, not only the Microsoft Excel. That we have another standard tools that become a standard in our end user. So when they are registered as a new employee, so the HR will conduct a kind of and technology training, how to use the tools, that's for the newcomer, the young employee, so maybe 2 or 3 years ago we have a series of training, to train our employee, how to use the tools, we provide the tools. And for the mindset, of course, like I mentioned, that we have a kind of the innovation day that try to open the mindset, all the employee. We also have a kind of technology sharing, technology sharing is like this, maybe most the IT people, not all the IT people, they are follow the technology uh, development, but how about the others non IT people, so we need to give an update to them, sharing the technology, what kind of the technology that actually we already implement in TAM, and what we expect from them. So I think that's a several way, how we try to not only open the mind of the employee, but also to give them the tools, give them all the skill, train them, so with that way we expect that actually we can, all our employee, they can utilize the data optimally, so I think like that, Pak Venki.
Thank you, Pak Anggun. Yeah, how you, I mean, how the Excel Axiata create this data-driven environment in the employee
Yeah.
mindset, Pak?
Yeah. So I think for the data driven is already in place, Pak. Tapi what we do heavily now is actually changing the mindset from technology into more on the customer. So I think data things is we already use data as a way to to do the argument with the management, with the BOD. When we talk with data and also with evidence, nobody will argue. But I think the problem is not in the data, but in prioritizing between between us as the company, or the technology or the investment versus the the customer. That's always the challenging part when we talk about, oh, the customer need to be able to do this, blah 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 blah, but then the technology people will say, oh, we cannot do that because it's not allowed with our current blah blah. If we need that, we need to invest this much, blah blah. In that kind of discussion, we usually always request our team to provide more data. So that's why our front end team now being customized to that kind of approach, and also we have a campaign internally, Pak. We have a campaign internally for our team to change their mindset from always technology driven, from always solution driven, into the problem driven, into the customer first driven. So I think the campaign we call it XL from the heart. Ya.
Yes, okay.
Jadi because if we rely 100% on data, sometimes we lose the empathy, Pak. Sometimes we
Yeah.
lose, ini it's only 2% of the customer experience this. This is not too bad. We will not lose that much. But if we have the heart, our data will support, and also our action will be more targeted toward the happy customer. I think probably that's a kind of a little bit apa namanya itu ya, bahasa ininya bukan naif ya, cliche. That's kind of a cliche statement, but I think that's true lah for the brand nowadays.
Yeah, thank you, Pak Anggun. Pak Hangki, how the Educlass help companies to be the data-driven companies?
Okay, thank you, Pak. Thank you. So I think it's being data driven is a combination of various methodology and principle, and that converts to good process, applies to relay the data tools and to allow transmissions of this data, and finally implementing technology to make the data driven decision. At EduClass, we have created the right recipe to ensure our customer to make this journey being informed of all that is needed to not just run a successful business, but also maintain continuity in learning for each employee, which result that track back to the company's brand and share in the market. And say on your first stage, let's say you need to be digital economy ready with agile and collaborative workforce, which means you need to impart your workforce with collaborative skill and agile management principles to increase the efficiency and flexibility. In the next stage, to grow in the digital economy, you need to introduce technology, yeah, to support borderless and connected workplace. Without this, we can grow business outside the borders to deliver seamless customer journey. To live ahead in the digital economy, an agile workforce and connected workplace are necessary, but not enough. Yeah, business need to go beyond and by implementing emerging technology like AI and using intelligent platform to make data driven decisions. Yeah, I think companies follow data-driven practice because they have realized how valuable data and the role that it plays in the sort of any business. Do this, I think most company have resort the use of the data to gain game-changing insight. Uh, uh, I believe, and then we have research some information research. I mean, yeah. So the data-driven companies are 6 times more likely to retain their current customers, and then about 23 times likely to acquire new customer, and then about 19 times as likely to make a profit. Yeah. So that is, I think, it's about the data driven by.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, I think we comes to the end of the panel, so I think I would like to hear the closing remark. The speaker can give a closing remark. Start from Pak Damadi.
Yeah, if you're talking about the technology, evolving is very fast. Yeah, you cannot stop it. Yeah, and you cannot ignore it. Also, yeah, let's as enterprise ride on it and let's embrace it. The technology in sake for your business benefit. Thank you.
Thank you, Pak Damadi. Pak Anggun.
Yeah, okay. So back again to the first statement, the technology is the enabler, but the fact that now people rapidly changing to digital, and of course because of the COVID, it's the trajectory is still there. We need to change the way we engage with our customers. So I think the first thing first is how we can win back the customer heart, and then the technology will support us. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Pak Anggun. Pak Hangki.
Okay, let's face it. As per McKinsey study, almost 70% of all transformation fail to deliver just because they are not transformative in the real sense. Merely moving legacy apps to the cloud or upgrading ERP system is not a digital transformation. We can call them business differentiator that are short life simply, but digital transformation solutions should be aligned with in this technology driven world. It is imperative for you to find the right partner to transform right partner and to transforming business process, be it digital transformation consulting or implementation. The right partner can always help you leverage the business of advancing the technology. You need right digital transformation partner to accelerate your company's ability to leverage advancements in emerging technology. So partner not only assist you in making a roadmap, but also help in implement proper way. You can easily stay ahead of the curve by integrating digital transformation solution into your enterprise. So at EduClass, we strive to drive transformation across various industry sectors by combining domain experts, customer experience, and digitization capabilities. Yeah, our 70, 20, and 10 learning models. Yeah, consists of winning blend of on-the-job learning plus mentoring and coaching plus classroom and reading learning. And then simply, if there is any question, yeah, please all of you maybe you can email or contact us, yeah, to see how we will help you with your specific requirements. So that's things
Yeah.
from our side. Thank you, Pak. Thank you.
Thank you. I see. Okay, thank you. Once again, thank you, Pak Darmadi. Thank you, Pak Anggun. Thank you, Pak Hanki. Your insights and to discover the key capabilities on how your company managing and engaging your customer for better. Then this is help us understand more on how to creating a future forward digital business. Once again, Funky Christian, would like to thank you for the Pak Darmadi, Pak Anggun, Pak Hanki. I hope can see you again in the next event. Yeah. So I will hand over back to Melissa.
Okay.
Thank you, Pak Funky.
Thank you very much. Thank you Pak Funky, thank you Pak Wilbertus Darmadi, Pak Anggun Himawan, dan juga Pak Hanki for an interesting panel discussion, for sharing us good thoughts, ideas, and new perspective. Thank you very much. See you Bapak-Bapak. Sampai ketemu lagi. Stay healthy. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you all. Yeah.
Okay, so all the participants, thank you very much for joining us today. And that's all the sessions for today. But please do join for tomorrow online event, because we have more speakers and thought leaders from Southeast Asia regions, especially from Indonesia, who will, sharing ideas and all perspective they have to us. So please do join for tomorrow online session, because it will be started at 10:15. And don't forget to poll in every session in order to get points. And once again, you can interact with one another by joining the lounge. And do not forget to join the networking tables, because we open around 20 tables for networking. So please take the opportunity to meet and to connect with one another. Thank you so much for your attention for today, and I'll see you tomorrow, all participants. Thank you. I'm Melissa Walindo signing off. Stay healthy. See you tomorrow. Bye.